Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar by FluentPro. This webinar is about the data protection in Project Online. My name is Gennady Guskov. I'm solution consultant, and just a brief summary about FluentPro. We are the Microsoft Gold partner, and we have accumulated very significant experience in all areas concerning the Project Online. We have executed numerous migrations. We have developed several products for Project Online, including Fluent Books, which transfers the data configuration and data from one environment to the other, and including G Suite, which I'll be talking about today, which helps you with disaster recovery and related actions in Microsoft Project Online. Okay, so I will go over first. I will talk about the reasons why the data protection should be available, and then I'll talk about what to protect, what to include into the data protection, and how to do it. So firstly, there are several reasons why the data protection should be enabled in the organizations, because while the data is protected by Microsoft in general, they can restore the whole PWA, and we've created this product to enable the granular backup and the granular restore process, which is more efficient, which is much simpler, and is available to everyone without the need to post a ticket to Microsoft, without the need to wait until they restore the data for you. And most importantly, the effort that's related to the data loss is often underestimated, and the large schedules can be rebuilt for hours and hours, and this is in case if the project managers have the local copies, have some saved files to work with. But the errors are frequent, and there can be something that the project manager does, which some problem with the save or publish of the project, something that was deleted, and then it is needed to restore the project. The majority of the organizations who use the Project Online, they do not have the disaster recovery process, and then there is no way, as I mentioned, there is no way to restore a single project, for example, in Project Online by just using the standard way to post a ticket to Microsoft. Then you will need to wait up to 72 hours until Microsoft restores the whole PWA to you, and that would not be an individual project. So what we recommend is to back up the important data that you have in a PWA, back up it regularly, and look at your status, at your protection status. So in G Suite, we enable the backup of the project schedules. We support both the project level and task level fields. The project sites can be backed up and then restored along with their document libraries, both native and custom. The timesheets can be backed up and restored. So this is basically the state of things for your current PWA, but it's more granular, it's more selected for you and for your current needs. Initially, we offer to the larger organizations to use the kind of an archival scenario if you are if you have more than probably several hundred projects, like 500 and more projects in your PWA environment, to prevent crowding, to offload the current PWA instance, you may want to copy those projects along with their sites to the separate PWA where only admins have access to, and you can repeat that on a regular basis afterwards. And then you will be still able to access those projects. You will still be able to report on this data, but at the same time, your production PWA will only have the current projects, the projects that you're working with, and that makes things more optimal. So G Suite does not store the data locally on your computer. It is a cloud solution. So when it connects to your PWAs, then it would transfer the data and store it in Microsoft Azure Cloud. So this is the storage that we've selected. We also have the ability to transfer customers to their storage, and this is the way we store and copy our data. So that's done using the Microsoft Azure Azure Storage. And in terms of the strategy, you can choose whatever works for you. We often recommend to our customers to use the manual backup as kind of estimation tool to understand how the product works. What does the backup include? How long does it take? How much disk space is occupied? So then you can make the decision on the schedule in the backup. So how often would you like the schedule backup to be running? What did you want to include into that backup? Would that be the configuration and projects and the sites, or would that be only the configuration and projects, for example? Because depending on the rate of modification in your environment, it may be relevant to only back up the modified projects and the modified sites, and then to back up all of the projects and all of the sites in the less regular intervals. But that all depends on you, on your decisions, and that's what makes G Suite a great tool, because it provides you with such a flexibility that you can choose yourself. And an example of the customer case that we've helped with is that if there is a timesheet based reporting and all the data inside the PWA is interconnected, so when the timesheets are populated, the data goes to the project actuals, and when the reports are generated, they are based on those actual costs. And if the tasks are deleted, then the actuals go away, so that the customer saw that in their reporting, and they wanted to restore the actuals in those projects, so that it was very fast and it was very efficient in terms of being able to see and to report on the data that was present in the PWA before. And now let me switch to the actual G Suite interface and show you some of the things, some of the most important things I was talking about. So this is our new G Suite user interface. If any of you have signed up before, you may have seen the previous one where we had the tiles for environments and the links between them. So right now the new interface has the license pane in here, and most importantly, the cards for each environment are presented on the first page, so that you can see what is the protection status for each of your environments and what you can do about it. So you can always go into the unprotected or into the uh, deleted statuses. And inside the data protection, you can see all of the backups that were completed for your PWA. You can run the manual backup in here, and inside every backup you can go and see what's included. You can get the status, you can understand what's in there, and be able to restore it. And moreover, you can search in the backup. You can use the search. For example, if I wanted just to find a certain project, I could go here, and I also wanted the same site, so that I see that this backup is 100% complete, and I can see that a project is included in here, and also there's a site with the same name, and I can go to restore and initiate the restore with the needed parameters. So I can restore this project and the site, but in the site I can choose to restore certain elements, so that I can restore the document libraries, the lists, both native and custom, and I can choose what exactly I would like to restore from that document library or from the custom lists. If you needed to restore the PWA configuration, it's possible to do that for any chosen entity, and also for the elements within those entities. So in this part, the restore is also very granular and also very flexible. The backups can be scheduled, and we do not limit the number of schedules that you can create. You can have as many as you need, and you're just configuring whatever you wanted to include into that backup. So according to your experience with the on-demand backup, then you would specify the same or slightly different parameters in the um, in the uh, in the schedule backup settings. And G Suite will always notify you uh, on all the actions, for example, on the backups. And let me show you an example of notifications you can receive from G Suite. So in this case, G Suite finished the backup successfully, and that has the URL of the PWA, start and finish date, also the content that what was included into the backup, and for the reference, it also has the license usage, so that you understand how you're faring towards the license limits. We also have the Power BI report that works in the same way. It helps you to understand, in addition to our updated user interface, this Power BI report allows you to understand how what is the protection status of your projects. Are you protecting every project, or are there any projects with missing protection? What is the last date of the backup for the projects? And if we go to the project coverage, so there is a heat map that indicates how was the projects, how were the projects backed up. So for example, if some of the projects weren't backed up, you will see the blanks in here. If there were any errors in backing up those projects, you will see the error red rectangle in there, and you will be able to understand if this is a persistent problem, or this is something that happened only once, and then all the subsequent operations, all the subsequent backups went successfully. So that's something that's very important, and we recommend to our customers to monitor the mail notifications or the Power BI report or both to be fully aware of their protection status in G Suite and be sure that their data is safe. Okay, and to finalize this, I wanted to return to my slides and in short summary, so the main value that G Suite provides is that it can make it can ensure your complete data protection for both projects and sites. It can minimize the downtime, so you can restore the data very efficiently and very fast. It can you can specify in G Suite how often would you like to make the backups, for example, so that would reduce your usage. And it is allowing you to also use some additional functionality like the copy or the publish or the configuration for the PWA, so that you're using all of the features that are available both in Project Online and in G Suite, so that you're creating new features in the non-production environment and then copying them to the production one, so that you're archiving the closed projects to the separate PWA where no one would have access to them except the administrators and except for the reporting purposes. So all that is possible in G Suite. And G Suite is a large product, so we're serving more than 100 organizations all over the world. We're processing 15,000 daily projects, and we have processed more than 100 terabytes of data. And in our customers' backups, almost 50 projects is the average. So you can see that it's using to protect many projects in the PWA. Sorry. And we also have the large customers as well. In the largest backup, there are almost 1,500 projects. Not saying about the on-premises version, which can include even more. So thank you for your time and for your interest in our product. And I really think everyone should have the G Suite for their Project Online instance, because it offers great protection and it ensures that you're using the Project Online instance efficiently, and you're able to work with the data without any data losses. So if there are any questions, please ask in the chat. Otherwise, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching. I will be posting a recording of this webinar on our site. So stay safe. Thank you.